more dangerous than they were
You need
before.
to make sure that you announce that Andrew Thomas is going to be the referee for this match, because the last time that Dory Funk and Adam Windsor were here, they robbed Blackout of the Bang Tag Team titles, and I want to make sure this thing's fair, and Andrew, you know what to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the appointed official,
Jeff Bailey making sure that Andrew Thomas, his partner in crime, is the official on the record for this match.
Thomas.
Out here is Wildside CEO, or rather President Bill Barrett.
Jeff, just want to let you know I'm taking to heart what I just heard you say. You clearly want this match called right down the middle. I know you're all about law and order in the ring, Jeff. And Andrew, no one would ever question your integrity. At least not to your face. But I got together in the back with Dory Funk, and we decided that it might make sense to have an impartial referee. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce from the Funkin' Conservatory, the Law, the Claw.
Apparently, the Claw is the law, and this is an official that Blackout have endured before,
Andrew,
down at the Funkin' Conservatory in Tampa.
Why don't you go to the back and let a professional take over?
Boy, Andrew Thomas and the Claw having words, and I think our senior official is heading back to the Wildside dressing room to lick his wounds, and I don't want to see any video of that. Dory Funk Jr. and Adam Windsor participating in the Wildside Tag Team Tournament, facing the recently reunited Blackout. That's Murder One and Rainman, accompanied, of course, by Wildside CEO Jeff G. Bailey, perhaps the most offensive man I have ever met in my life.
He's the most offensive man on television today, and we are home to it.
And there are plenty of offensive men on TV.
And Blackout, they heard this tournament was coming together, and they decided to reunite one more time to show the world that they are still the most dominant tag team in Wildside history. Whether or not that is true remains to be seen. We'll see it tonight. Rainman has his own agenda. Tomorrow night, he's got a one-on-one match with the original Chosen One, Rick Michaels, the first ever barbed wire match in Wildside history. Tomorrow night's main event of Fight Night 2002. He's got that on his mind, and he's got to contend with one of the most legendary and respected figures in the history of our sport, Dory Funk Jr., the master of the spinning toe hold, the former world heavyweight champion, the member of the legendary Funk family, with his father Dory Sr. and his brother Terry Funk. Dory Funk Jr. in the NWA arena, and Rainman has to worry about him as well as a tag team tournament, as well as a barbed wire match. I don't think his focus is all in one place.
Could well be, as well as trying to deal with Dory Funk Jr. and Adam Windsor. He also has the Claw, the referee from the Funkin' Conservatory and Bang Wrestling in Tampa to contend with here. Things don't look too promising at the moment for the reunited team of Blackout.
Adam Windsor, very strong in his mat wrestling. The prize protege of Dory Funk Jr., been considered an unofficial Funk family member. And Dory Funk Jr. coming in and taking the arm of Rainman, the Soul Assassin. As the feud continues here between Dory Funk Jr. and Jeff G. Bailey's NWA Elite, more specifically, the most violent tag team in Wildside history, Rainman and Murder One, Blackout.
In all honesty, I don't think if Dory Funk Jr. has ever seen quite the violence that Blackout has perpetrated on so many of his opponents ever in his storied career. Now, Dory Funk has seen Blackout, members of the Blackout having appeared down in Tampa and Bang Wrestling, as well as the Funkin' Conservatory. So he's definitely no stranger to the team of Murder One and Rainman, but still.
And one of the most recent outings Blackout had at the Funkin' Conservatory, Jeff G. Bailey appointed none other than the Walking Riot, Missy Hyatt, to deal with him against Dory Funk.
Imagining hiring Missy Hyatt to do anything. No comment, please. I believe, though, the last time that Dory Funk Jr. and Jeff G. Bailey met up, I believe, wasn't it Jeff Bailey who got stuck in that spinning toe hold and was the recipient of some of those classic Dory Funk Jr. uppercuts? Ooh, that was sweet.
Also got locked in the spinning toe hold, and Jeff G. Bailey screamed like a little girl. Irish whip by the legend. Elbow to Rainman, the Soul Assassin. Getting knocked around like a pinball by the man that defeated Harley Race for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in the late 1970s.
Oh, those forearms, good Lord.
And not only did Dory Funk hold the World Championship, several regional titles, was a multi-time Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion, several championships in Florida with his brother Terry, and their legendary feud with Jack and Jerry Briscoe. Hip toss, cross arm breaker by Dory Funk Jr., tying Rainman in a pretzel. And Dory Funk Jr. has been in the ring with every single great this sport has ever seen. He's wrestled them all from Lou Thesz all the way down to Rob Van Dam.
The pain that Rainman must be experiencing in his elbow has got to be past the point of excruciating.
Tag made into the Royal Stud, Adam Windsor. Dory Funk Jr. wanting to continue his feud with Blackout, and very proud to be here in the Wildside International Tag Team Invitational Tournament for 2002. Big snap suplex there, vertical suplex. Another Royal Stud, Adam Windsor.
And the recently reactivated team of Blackout are not having a very positive evening here this evening. Against a team that has both youth and experience on its side in spades. The team of Dory Funk Jr. and the Royal Stud, Adam Windsor.
A teacher-student combination. Dory Funk Jr.'s got Rainman. Side Russian leg sweep.
Boy, Jeff Bailey's patting his brow after that near fall.
Rainman went for a reversal. And Blackout are gifted mat technicians. They're talented wrestlers. They're really on the losing end here when it comes to mat wrestling against Dory Funk Jr. and a Funk protege. Blackout wants to stay on the upper hand. They're going to have to brawl.
And incidentally, mind you, Rainman's been in this match from the opening bell. And how many tags have we seen between the Royal Stud and Dory Funk Jr.? Almost a dozen at this point. I can't imagine ever being closer to seeing Rainman concede as we are at this very moment. The crowd believing that a Rainman tapped out. I don't quite see that. But if any more pain is being administered onto the left arm and specifically the elbow of Rainman, perhaps a tap out is not all that unlikely. Rainman within a few inches of the tagging hands of Murder One. Dory Funk taking care of that eventuality.
Murder One is within inches of the tagging hand of Rainman. But Dory Funk Jr. has that elbow cinched.
Referee, the Claw, is trying to get Murder One back on the home base there. And actually able to keep Murder One at bay. Not too many referees that I know of would pull that one off. I guess the Claw is the law.
And I don't think Rainman has ever been in this precarious of a position in his wrestling career, but then again, he's never wrestled Dory Funk Jr.
And few people who ever have wrestled Dory Funk Jr. have defeated Dory Funk Jr. at any stage in his career. Dory Funk Jr. as well as his protege, Adam Windsor. If you were to list all the gifted wrestling talents that these folks have, what they bring to the table every time that they appear, well, this show would go on for 24 hours long.
And we talk about the history of Dory Funk and who all he's been in the ring with. What about the athletes that he's trained? Adam Windsor falls in a long line of athletes that are currently competing in World Wrestling Entertainment. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy all spent time with Dory Funk. Edge, Rhino, Kurt Angle have all spent time in the Funking Dojo.
And in true classic pro wrestling style, Windsor and Funk have stuck exclusively to the left arm of Rainman, not veering away from that strategy for 1 second.
And Rainman got a free opportunity to pop Dory Funk Jr. in the head, and he makes the tag to Murder One.
The first time that's happened in this match.
And Dory Funk Jr. is getting his claw cleaned by Blackout, but he's managing to hang onto the arm of Rainman. There's some serious damage done to the arm of the Soul Assassin, but Murder One now going to work on Dory Funk.
And going after the arm in a very uncharacteristic way. I think maybe Murder One wants to out-funk Dory Funk Jr. Good luck.
I venture to say that the last time Dory Funk Jr. was in the ring with a brawler the caliber of Murder One, it was probably against the Sheik or Abdullah the Butcher in Japan.
Well, I think Murder One's a hell of a lot more mobile than either the Sheik or Abby. Now Dory Funk is in a position where he needs to make that tag. Rainman tagging back in, going out of his way to make sure he does not use his left arm for any offense here. And Dory fighting back with some of those choice Funk forearms.
And Dory Funk Jr. right with a forearm to the face again.
Frankly, he doesn't need a steel plate to be put in it for it to be effective.
Certainly not.
Murder One now going after the left arm of Dory Funk Jr. And getting in the face of referee, the Claw.
Murder One still attacking Dory Funk in the corner. Dory Funk yet to be put down.
But once again, it's those forearms that seem to be breaking up the offense of Murder One. Interestingly enough, it's been a story of forearms and working on the left arm.
They're trying to stop Dory Funk in his tracks here. Trying to beat him at his own game and embarrass him.
Interestingly here, Rainman now goes for a rear chin lock and away from the left arm. Rainman apparently hoping for a concession out of Dory Funk Jr. and a rake to the face and a fist to the head of the Royal Stud.
Scoop and a slam on the Dory Funk Jr.
Oh, Dory just taking massive amounts of abuse. Swift kicks to the chest by both members of Blackout.
Another big scoop slam by Murder One. And again, he knocks Adam Windsor off the apron. Blackout working very fluid as a wrestling tag team, something that they have done many times in the past, but didn't see them capable of again here in this reuniting. But to do, you got to do what you got to do. Not necessarily what they want to do. They'd rather beat the piss out of you. But look at this trading of forearms here.
In all honesty, this is probably the most authentic wrestling exhibition from the team of Blackout we have ever seen. In many ways, they seem to be somewhat intimidated by the team of Dory Funk Jr. and Adam Windsor. And bringing the style of attack much to the line of thinking of Funk and Windsor.
Rainman's going to the top. And he misses the moonsault. He misses the moonsault.
The legend, Dory Funk Jr., manages to roll out of the way and makes a tag to Adam Windsor.
Windsor with a scoop and a slam. Adam Windsor in House of Fire.
And it is breaking down. I don't think even the claw can keep law and order in this matchup now.
It truly is. Big in-ring collision by Blackout.
And a pair of forearms sends Murder One down with authority. Jeff Bailey pulling out the legs of Dory Funk Jr. Great. Oh boy. Good Lord.
And Jeff G. Bailey got two forearms. And the spinning toe hold.
He's been there before. He's there again. Oh, but Rainman's here to save his CEO and mentor and manager, Jeff Bailey. In the ring, it's Windsor and Murder One. Outside, it's Dory Funk Jr. and the Soul Assassin, Rainman.
Murder One's got, he's got Windsor up. He's got Windsor up, going for the Zoolander, but Windsor with a roll-up.
And Windsor and Dory Funk Jr. advance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners advancing in the tournament, the Royal Stud Adam Windsor and Dory Funk Jr.
Oh, the team of Blackout are furious. They thought they had this one won.
Violator 2.0 under Adam Windsor. Now come Rick and Chris Michaels to check on the legend here. Rick Michaels has Rainman tomorrow night in a barbed wire match.
And Rick and Chris Michaels seem to be taking care of the team of Blackout here this evening as Jeff Bailey limps off into the sunset. Oh dear. Funk and Windsor taking care of Rainman, standing tall in the ring. Rick and Chris Michaels, but more importantly, Dory Funk Jr. and Adam Windsor continue on in the tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your winners advancing to tomorrow night, second round, the Royal Stud Adam Windsor and the living legend, Dory Funk Jr.